Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing the second topic in the module 4 network layer protocols, that is said to be ICMP v4. It is an Internet Control Message Protocol version 4. So in the previous class, we had seen that IPv4 protocol datagram format was studied, and also related to the datagram few problems were solved. And also in the previous class we had studied about the fragmentation concepts, and also related to that few problems were solved, and also we had gone through the different options and security issues. In today's class, we'll be discussing about the Internet Control Message Protocol version 4. So, the IPv4 has the drawback of the IPv4 was that this has no error reporting or error correcting mechanism. The IP protocol also lacks a mechanism for host and management queries. Like the examples, like if a router has to discard a datagram or a packet because it cannot find the exact route where it has to reach, that is the final destination, or the time to live field has a 0 value in the datagram format. You have seen that in the 9-byte there is a time to live TTL field if that value is a 0 value, and if it has not received all the fragments within the predetermined time limit, that means the destination has not received all the fragments, all those are considered to be the errors. Now, to report all these, there is no built-in mechanism. So IP protocol lacks a mechanism for a host and also the management queries. So hosts sometimes have to determine if a router or another host is alive, or if it is responding, if it is active. And sometimes a network manager needs the information from another host or a router, like the communication has to be there. In all those cases, the IPv4 has no mechanism. So ICMPv4, which is said to be an auxiliary protocol, it is an Internet Control Message Protocol, has been designed to compensate for the above two deficiencies. One is there is no error reporting, error correcting mechanism, and also it lacks a mechanism for the host and the management queries. Now, ICMPv4, which is designed to compensate for two deficiencies, here what is done is messages are encapsulated inside the IP datagram itself, and when a IP datagram encapsulates this ICMP message, in the previous class we had seen in the datagram format there is a protocol field. So the value of the protocol field with respect to the different protocols used, the values were also shown in the slide. So value of the protocol field in the IP datagram has to be set 1 if a ICMPv4 protocol is used, to indicate that this datagram is carrying a ICMP message also. Now this ICMP messages are divided into two broad categories. One is said to be the error reporting messages, and the other is the query messages. So these error reporting messages report the problems that a router or a destination host or a destination device encounters when it processes a IP packet. When IP packet has passed through these, if any problem occurred, to report those problems, error reporting messages are used. The query messages occur in pairs, like there are two messages as one is sent and reply sent back. It helps the device or a network manager to get specific information from a router or another host. For example, nodes can discover their neighbors. Also, hosts can learn about the routers on the network, and routers can help a node redirect its messages. All that can be done by using the query messages, which will be seen detailed later. Now here, the error reporting messages report problems that a router or a destination device encounters when it processes a IP packet. That is what is told. Now, here, what happens here is that the ICMP message has 8-byte header. So this general format of the ICMP message is that it has got a 8-byte header. Okay. In that, first 4 bytes are common to both the message types, error reporting as well as the query messages. You can see here 16 plus 8 plus 8. That means altogether it is 32 bits. 32 bits are nothing but 4 bytes which are common. We have a type 8 bits, code 8 bits, checksum which is 16 bit. So here what happens is rest of the header will be a variable and also we have the variable size data section also. So ICMP type defines the type of the message, type first field, then a code field specifies the reason for the particular message type by having a code values. So it is also 8 bits. Then we have a checksum field which is common. Later we will see about how to calculate the checksum. And the remaining 4 bytes in the header is specific for each message type. So in the case of query, there is identifier, sequence number, which we'll see later. So the data section in the error message carries the information for finding the original packet that had an error. And the data section in the query message carries the information based on the type of the query. So data section will be different. Now first let us see about the error reporting messages. As I have already told, in the ICMP there is a facility to report errors, but there is no facility to correct errors. ICMP does not correct errors, it simply reports the errors. That is very important. Since in the internet protocol, which is unreliable, as we had seen, it is unreliable, connectionless. So the responsibility of ICMP is to report the errors that occur when a IP datagram is processed. Remember that the function of the ICMP, that is Internet Control Message Protocol, is to report the errors which occur during the process of IP datagram. You might have noticed whenever a mail is sent, you get a reply. If in the case the mail ID that you have entered is not valid, or if there is any error, so you will get a reply back. So all those are considered to be the ICMP error messages. Now this ICMP uses source IP address to send the error messages to the source of the datagram. So here you can see that the type and the code values. In the error reporting messages, first let us see about the error reporting messages, which will be dealt later in brief. So the type will be filled with 03 and the code will be, it can have a code between 0 to 50, which is with the message destination unreachable. Whenever we have a type as 4, the code is only 0, then it is error reporting message is source quench. Similarly, when the error type is 5, code can be 0 till 3, the message is redirection. Whenever a type is 11 and the message will be time exceeded, the code can take 0 and 1 value. Similarly, when the type is 12, the error reporting message can be parameter problem. It can take the value code 0 and 1. Similarly, we have query messages with the type and the code which is specified, echo request reply. Similarly, 13, 14, timestamp request and reply. These come in pair. Now, here what happens is in the ICMP, here it uses source IP address. As I have already told, it uses source IP address to send the error messages. Now, ICMP follows some rules in reporting the messages. First rule is that there are 3 rules to be remembered. One is, no error reporting message will be generated for a datagram which is having a multicast address. Multicast is nothing but if a message is directed to many users, then in that case, error message will not be generated. Next is, even for the special addresses like this host address, loop back address, for all those addresses, error message will not be generated. Similarly, no ICMP error messages will be generated to a datagram carrying ICMP error message. Similarly, no ICMP error message will be generated for a fragmented datagram that is not the first fragment. In between the fragments, if in those cases ICMP error message will not be generated. Now the error message contains a data section which includes the IP address of the original datagram first plus the first 8 bytes of data in that datagram. You can see here 8 bytes of data, then IP header, ICMP header, and this will be the sent IP datagram. Now let us see about the error reporting messages. First is destination unreachable, which is of the type 3. Remember that it is type 3. This uses different codes 0 to 15 to define the type of the error message and reason why a datagram has not reached its final destination. The code 0 tells that source host is unreachable, which is usually most commonly used as in the type 3 code 0. For example, when we use HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, to access a web page, whenever we access a web page, if we are using HTTP protocol, but the server is down, we cannot reach to that page, then the message will come, destination host is not reachable. So that message is the error reporting message, which is sent back to the source. Next, second one is the source quench. It is of the type 4. Here it informs the sender that network has encountered a congestion. That means network is busy. The datagram will be dropped, and whenever this information is received back to the source will slow down the process of generating the datagram, which is nothing but it is something like a congestion control. Next is about the redirection. When the source uses for example, maybe a wrong route to send out a message, which is not a proper route, then the router redirects the message to the appropriate router and informs the source that it needs to change the router. So, for example, when a time to live value is 0, the datagram is dropped by visiting the router and time exceeded message type with the code message, which is of type 11, with the code 0 will be sent to the source to inform that about the situation. Like there is one datagram whose time to live value is 0, that means time exceeded message with the code 1 is sent. And also when all the fragments of the datagram are not arrived within that specific period of time, also time exceeded message will be sent. So destination unreachable, whenever a particular HTTP protocol example, the web page, the server is down and we cannot access a web page. In that case, this destination not reachable message will be reported. Source quench whenever there is a congestion to slow down the process. Redirection whenever the message is following a wrong path or a different path, then in that case it needs to change the default router in future. For that it will be informed. Time exceeded, if for example when the TTL is 0 and the datagram is still in the process, so it has to be informed back, time exceeded. And also when all the fragments of the datagram are not received within that period of time, also time exceeded message can be sent. Next is about the parameter problem. The parameter problem message can be sent when either there is a problem in the header of the datagram or some options are missing. Okay, in all those cases which cannot be interpreted, code 0 and the code 1. Code 0 whenever there is a header problem in the header of the datagram, or code 1 whenever there is some options are missing or it cannot be interpreted, it is a parameter problem. Next, let us see about the query messages. The query messages are used without relation to the IP datagram. That means these are encapsulated in the datagram, which these are used to test liveliness of the router in the internet. So very important is that it is used to test the alertness of the router in the internet. Finds one way or the round trip time between the two devices. Usually these query messages come in pairs, like echo request and reply, timestamp request and reply, such kind. Now the echo reply, first let us see about the echo request and reply. Echo reply is used by the host to test the liveliness of the another router. So in reply to this, the router sends a echo request message to another, which will be seen later. Similarly, the timestamp request and reply, these are the pair of messages which are used to find the round trip time between the two devices, or it is used to check whether the clocks in the devices are synchronized. The timestamp request sends a 32-bit number which defines the time the message is sent. Reply resends that number but includes two new 32-bit numbers representation, that is the time the request received and the time the response was sent. So that is about the query messages. So echo request and reply, which will be it is used by the host to test the liveliness of the another router. Here the router sends a echo request message to another, and the timestamp and the timestamp reply, these are used to find the round trip time, and also timestamp request message sends a 32-bit number which defines the time the message is sent, and reply resends that number, includes two more 32-bit numbers representing time the request received and time the response was sent. Then is about the debugging tools. There are several tools that can be used in the internet for debugging. We can determine the viability of the host or router. We can trace the route of a packet. We introduce two tools that use ICMP for debugging, which is said to be ping and trace route. So debugging tools are the tools which are used to trace the router packet and also the viability of the router. Very important is that these are used for debugging. These tools are ping and trace route. First let us see about ping. Ping gets the help from two query messages to find if a host is alive and responding. So here those two query messages are used, wherein we send a request and we get a reply back. Those will be used to find if the host is alive. So source host will be sending those ICMP echo request message. Destination, in case if it is alive, it responds with the echo reply, and program sets the identifier field and starts the sequence number and increments that by 1. Ping calculates also the round trip time. It inserts the sending time and subtracts the arrival time to get the round trip time. This is about ping. So here there is one example given where how we send a ping message to the university. We set the identifier field in the echo request and reply message and start the sequence number from 0. Sequence number is given 0. This number is incremented each time a new message is sent. Ping can calculate the round trip time also just by inserting the sending time, and when the packet arrives it subtracts the arrival time, and the time to leave is also time is also specified here. This is about ping. Next is like ping and IP address. If we type in the command prompt, we will get a reply having these time to live, time, sequence number, all these replies you will get. So 64 bytes, how many bytes are transmitted, what is the sequence number, TTL time, all that will be displayed. Next is about the trace route. So let us see about the trace route program. So here trace route in Unix and trace auth in Windows. So trace auth or trace route, it is used to trace the path of the packet from source to the destination. Just it is used to trace the path or to find the IP addresses of all the routers visited along the path. Now this trace route gets the help from two error reporting messages. The ping gets the help from two query messages. This gets the help from two error reporting messages. One is time exceeded and the other is the destination unreachable. So here the trace route program is encapsulated in the user datagram. If there are n routers, trace route sends n plus 1 messages. First n messages are discarded by those n routers and the last message will be received by the destination host. So here the error reporting messages received to find the path between the routers. Here let us see this example figure. Here what happens? The trace route message is sent with the TTL value 1. This is how the process is, trace route program. By keeping the TTL value is 1 in the program datagram format, error message will be sent. The trace route message will be sent. The message is discarded at the first router and the time exceeded error message will be sent, from which the trace route program can find the IP address of the first router. Because the TTL value is equal to 1, when it is received by the first router, it gets decremented. As I have told you, time to live value will tell how many routers or how many hops that packet has to travel. In case if the value of the time to live value is only 1, when it is decremented, it becomes 0 and automatically the router have to reply back to the sender by reporting the error, and it is said to be the time exceeded error reporting message. That means time to live is 0. So the packet cannot be transferred next. So it sends a error reporting message. Actually this is done here intentionally. TraceERT or the trace route program does intentionally because it wants to know the IP address of the routers along the path. It sends TTL with the values incremented to each and every router, and once it receives, when it decrements that value of the TTL, it becomes 0. So when it becomes 0, it reports with the error reporting message, and when it reports with the error reporting message, from that IP address the source can get to know about the router IP address, so that path can be traced. So all this is done intentionally. Next is the second trace route message is sent with the TTL 2 now. So once it reaches the first, it gets decremented by 1. Once it reaches the second, it gets decremented to 0. When it is decremented to 0, even the second router sends back the reply with the time exceeded message. So even this is done intentionally. So the router 2 IP address is also recorded. Similarly, the third is also done. When the fourth is done, however, reaches the destination host, even here destination, whenever it in the message the port number will be entered wrong, just to get even from the destination, it has to get the reply back to know as the IP address. So what is done is wrong port number will be entered. So once again a reply comes from the destination that the destination is not reachable. So ICMP sends different message with the code 3 to show that port number not found. After receiving this, even this is done intentionally, after receiving this message, the trace route knows that final destination is actually reached here. From this we can find the IP address and name of the final destination. That is what is done in the trace route. Next is about the ICMP. So trace route is used to record the route through the internet from one computer to the another. It calculates the time taken for each hop as the packet is routed to the destination. Next is about the ICMP checksum. ICMP checksum is calculated over the entire message. So example is shown here for a simple echo request message. We randomly choose the identifier 1, sequence number 9, all that. The message is divided into 16-bit words. The words are added, some is complemented, and then the sender can put this value in the checksum field. So you can see here the similar type checksum calculation was solved in the last class. with respect to the fields 80019 T and ESNT, all that is entered. Then everything is added. Then it does complement of that is taken, not of that is taken, which is considered to be the checksum, which is replaced in the datagram field. So this is about the ICMP-v4, which is said to be internal control message protocol. So since in the IPv4 there is no mechanism to report error or correct error, if router must discard a datagram because it cannot find the root, or time to live value field is 0, or if it has not received all the fragments within the predetermined time limit, for all those cases, in case if we want to report it back in IPv4, there is no mechanism. So to report all these, there is no built-in mechanism. So IP protocol lacks the mechanism for the host and the management queries. So hosts must determine if the router or another host is alive, and sometimes a network manager needs information from the another host or the router. Because considering all these, ICMP-v4 is designed to compensate for all these deficiencies by having ICMP message. So this has got error reporting and a query message, and error reporting reports the problems that a router encounters when it processes a packet, and the queries helps the host or a network manager to get the specific information from the router or another host. So this is about ICMP-v4. In the next class, we'll be discussing about the mobile IP protocol. Thank you.